Now, being from the West Coast and, being from a hood out here, it comes with a lot of drama. How much drama did you get into by being from Mob Piru? Did it cause you a lot of problems out there? Just, living your normal life, trying to succeed, meeting people. Did it block you from getting any deals?
To be honest with you, that's a set in the era that I lived through. But the hood I'm from is Barone and Martin Luther King. I wanted to get that clear. I'm out the third wall. I'm off Barona MLK. Okay. Now the Ma Piru situation, that came from me trying to get a deal and meeting people. And, it didn't come from no, that's my hood. It came just from me trying to get a deal. And I met people along the way who was a part of that, that turned me a part of that to even be able to roll with them out there. So that's how that happened. And what transpired with that, I ended up just kind of living through that the older I got. And it never stopped me from getting no deal. It never stopped no doors from not getting kicked down. But what it did do, one time, I was dealing with this thought that came and seen me, you dig. Her name was Cat Stacks. And what happened was, she was like, "Oh, this and that," and she made a statement that wasn't right. Okay. And then Daz Dillinger, he ended up hitting me up like, "Chop, what the that was about?" And basically, you dig, I said what I said, he said what he said. And then I'm living in Vegas now, about like 7 years later, you heard me, and I'm kicking it with Snoop and Daz, and Snoop was acting a little funny towards me. And basically, Daz was like, "You know why he acting funny towards you?" I'm like, "What he acting funny to me for? Yeah, I love Snoop." And he know I love Snoop. You heard me? He was like, "Courtesy of that Cat Stacks and that Crip shit." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I forgot all about that." He was like, "Say, bro, you gotta fix that." Ask Daz, he'll tell you. He was like, "You gotta fix that." So I'm like, "All right, I'm gonna have to fix it tonight." So you heard me? I'm in my mind, like I might gotta buy buku bottles but then it hit me. These don't care about drinking, they care about smoking. So I made a bright idea and I called up my little amigo and I'm like, "Say, bro, bring me something in this club." And I said, "I'll pay you extra." And he did it. And I gave Snoop and them the greatest grain that they had. And once I gave it to Snoop, we was smoking and we had fun and we kicked it. So yeah, that's the only problem I ever had with that situation. Besides that, I put in enough work, especially in LA, of just things that I was doing and transpiring and just ignorant shit. That a lot of, if you know, you know. You can ask Wack about me, Wack 100. He was around at that time. So if you know, you know. You dig? They'll tell you Young City was cutting up out this bitch, especially with Suge. I was cutting up, doing too much. But I was just young and lackluster, trying to find my way. You hear me? But um I would never say what I'm not. I would never say I'm not a Mile Paru. But I would say I have grew out of that way of thinking. But I would never say I'm not what I'm not. I am what I am. You hear me? But I'm not living that lifestyle. No more. That's what I would say about it. Yeah.
I heard you show love to the kids and give them money and play ball with them. And, one of them kids I heard ended up being Frank Ocean.
Absolutely. Back in the G, before Katrina, I used to live in Mishu. I used to live in Oak Island Apartments, and I also lived off Expedition. Um, Making the band, was over. So I'm signed to Bad Boy South now. So now I got the cars, you heard me, did it and gave me a Ferrari, and I got old schools and all this here. When I used to come home from the airport from being on the road, I drive home. When I drive home, all the kids knew me, you dig? It ain't too many people that live around there besides Squad Up and Fee Banks. I know a lot of people know Fee by now, who worked with Wayne. He lived off Expedition too, you dig? But anyway, to get to the point, it used to be like a basketball goal on Expedition. And every time it's time for me to come in the house, I'll pull up over there. You heard me on Expedition. If I don't go to Six Flags, I go right on Expedition to see the kids and kicking with them. I'll play a game of like 21 right quick. But one of the little kids that was there, I never knew this here. He told me, Frank Ocean told me. One of the little kids ended up being Frank Ocean. A lot of people don't know that Frank Ocean is actually from New Orleans. I seen him as a kid, like 11, 12 kid. You dig? One time I'm in LA and I'm in the studio. The studio was called the Paramount. And I guess Frank Ocean had a session at like the B room or the A room, and I'm in the other one. And he came over there because he heard I was there. And he was like, Chop, what's down? And I'm like, why you talking like he from the city? So I'm like, what's down with you, bro? He's like, you don't remember me. I said, yeah, you Frank Ocean. Nigga, I know who you are. He's like, no, you don't remember Miss You? Like 2003? Playing ball, used to pull up in the Cougar because everybody knew I had an old school Cougar. You heard me? Like, it had buku colors on it. And I'm like, yeah. He was like, I was one of the kids. And that blew me away. So shout out to Frank Ocean, and I'm so proud of you, brother. Regardless of what people say about your homosexuality, man, I don't care about none of that. I look at you like a human being and a talented brother, and I hope you keep shining, brother. But yeah, that's all facts. One of the kids was Frank Ocean. Big facts. Shout out to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy. Small world.
It is a small world. But the person that influenced me, who I seen one day, just one day, riding around in the drop top, he was on MLK. It was Mr. Servon. He was in a Jaguar. I'll never forget, Champagne Jaguar, drop top. And when he rolled past, like Simon Bolivar, I was looking, just a kid, and I was looking like, I want to be like that when I get older. I don't know. I wanted the fancy things. I wanted to be that person that I was seeing when I was a juvie. You know, I kind of wanted to be a influence in my neighborhood. I never thought, you heard me, in my mind, that trying to be an influence in my neighborhood would turn me into someone that's an influence to the world. I never would have thought that. But yeah, it was Mr. Servon who really influenced me to want to be a rapper. But it was Mac that showed me how to rap. It was BG of just the characteristics of what I want to be on. It was Juvie that showed me how I can go global. It was Wayne that showed me that I can be who I want to be. It was Baby that showed me how I can stunt. It was Master P that showed me how I can hustle. I'm everybody in one. I'm like Captain Planet, baby. I'm Cash Money and No Limit. Oh, and let me get this clear. And Big Boy. All in one. That's me, Young City. I'm everybody. That's why I can articulate like this here and, you know, talk with intelligence, is because I'm not just this young street dude. I'm also a book reader. I'm everybody in one. That's why I'm Young City. And I want to get this clear, I don't want to be called Chopper no more. You dig? It's too many of them out there. You dig? I'm okay with being Young City. I have morphed 100% into Young City. And Diddy gave me that name. But I'm okay being Young City. And another thing I want to get clear with me and Chopper Style, are we cool? We okay. But at the end of the day, we had our era in our life, and we grown now, and we didn't patch things up, even though we never had nothing that detached or messed up. But we keep things cordial. You dig? We good. You dig? So I wanted to get that clear too. So shout out to Chopper Style and Magnolia Chop and any chop that's from this city. Shout out to all of us. But I want to be Young City. So I want to get that clear, Cam. So call me Young City, not Chop.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, now I see Mac from No Limit shouted you out on the Cash Money No Limit verse. That was big.
That was big. I just talked about that just now. Say, bro, I knew that, you know, I talked to Mac a lot. You know, that's my big brother. I talk to Mac practically every day. You dig? And I get a lot of game from him. And I was like, say, bro, if you want to do the verses, I said, make sure. I was just joking. You dig? I was like, say, bro, make sure you mention my name. He said, I got you. And Mac is so solid and thorough, you heard me, that the man actually mentioned my name. I did not think he was going to do it, no, but he did it. And shout out to Mac. I'm forever in debt with him. Believe that. I love him to death. Favorite rapper to this day. Shout out to Mac.
What's up? This is Cam Capone. We got more content like this coming soon. So hit that like button, subscribe, and stay locked in to Cam Capone News.